Today I'm going to be covering how to spend 7 figures a month in ad spend on your brand without any crazy marketing tactics. Just as a background, we have a marketing agency. I do not have the most insane media buying team in the world. I know a lot of friends have a lot better media buying teams, but we focus on the back end of the business itself. I actually gave this presentation in November to a small, tight-knit mastermind in the affiliate space. They loved it so much, they wanted me to bring it today. So hopefully you guys get some mega value out of it. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you the exact spreadsheet that we use. It took us 4 months to put this thing together, where you can literally just plug in all your business numbers, and it'll tell you exactly where you should be looking, exactly what metrics you need to change. And I'm going to show you how a small game of percentage points can lead to millions more dollars for your business. So let's start with who am I. First of all, I go by Dada. I have an 8-month-old baby daughter and my beautiful wife, Terry, sitting up here in the front. We have 100 employees, as she was saying, in 4Media Marketing. We work with brands all over the world, similar to the ones that you see on the screen. I know Micro Perfumes is here somewhere in the crowd, ClickFunnels, Pace Morbi, Snow Teeth Whitening. I know there's a few guys here. We actually did Alex Ramosi, Prestige Labs up there. We did everything, their ads, their emails, their content, up until the point that they actually got acquired. So just kind of a little bit background of the people that we work with. All I ask from you today, this is the only favor that I ask in return. At some point, if I bring you enough value where you know you can leave this room, you can make more money, just post me on your story, tag me. I'd love to repost you guys. It's the best way to kind of get it out there. So with that being said, I want to start with it is not your ad account. I go to so many conferences. Everyone's looking for the biggest hack, the next way to run an audience in their ad account, the next way to change their bidding structure, and everyone's always trying to hack their way. But these businesses that I just showed you didn't hack their way to tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They built a business that could run ads anywhere. For all they cared, they could run billboards, and they would still make money because how the business is structured. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. So a few times today, I expect a little bit more emotion than what I got when I first got up here. But a few times, I'm going to ask you guys to do things like say yes or stand up once or twice throughout the presentation. If you guys could just participate, I think it'll make the entire presentation a lot better for everyone. Can I get a yes? Yes. Awesome. Love it. So let's start with this business right here. This business spends $1 million a month in ad spend. They have an average order value of $75. Their final revenue is $1.2 million a month, which leaves a 1.2 return on ad spend. After 25% cost of goods, this business is at a $100,000 loss a month. Can you please stand up if you would like to own this business? You're crazy. But you've seen this before, so I like that. So I'm going to show you guys by the end of this how with just single percentage point tweaks, you guys are all going to stand up at the end of the room for the same exact business, and you're all going to want to own it. So let's start with the close method. So this is the method that we use internally in our company. Whenever someone comes and brings a business to us, we audit everything. We audit their ad account, we audit their store, we audit their email flows. And this is the exact sequence that we go through from start to finish to figure out where the highest leverage points are in the business. I don't really care about sitting here and tweaking your entire ad account for hours and hours every single day. If I can find a different point in the business where I can tweak one thing and bring hundreds of more thousands of dollars a month, and that's going to show you how we walk through it. So number one is content. Okay, most people will ask, how can I spend 100 grand a month, Eddie? How can I spend 300 grand a month? They come with all these requests to our company, and then I respond back, how about we start with 15, 20K in content? Let's put together some really sick ads, some really good hooks to be able to spend this kind of money. And the problem is, all of them are too scared to do it. And they don't understand the value that this little amount of content is going to have on the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they're going to spend. So rule of thumb that we have in our business, and this is bare minimum, guys, 10% of whatever ad spend you're spending per month needs to go into making more content. Whether it's UGC, whether it's professional-based content. And I'm going to show you the formula that we use to get the absolute most out of the content that we shoot. But I want to break that kind of barrier point here because I see so many people trying to do it the cheap way. They try to, make their own ads, make them really crappy. They're all on these AI servers that just pump out a bunch of content. And quite frankly, they don't work. And we're sitting here trying to crack how to spend more on ads, and we're not putting that kind of effort into content. So what I call this is a 6x1 method. And essentially what this is every single ad that we make, we are pumping out multiple different hooks on the ad. This is super important for you guys because content costs a lot of money, okay? These people like ClickFunnels, these people that you saw on the screen, they pay tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars for this content. But what if they could get like 6 to 10 times more content with the same amount of price just by throwing on different hooks? So in this scenario here, you can see we'll film essentially 6 different hooks on the same exact ad, different approaches, different angles, different visualizations, as well as 3 different bodies, as well as 3 different call to actions at the end. And what this results for us is 54 unique video concepts. So I'm gonna take it back for you for a second. All we filmed was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. It's much easier when you break things down piece by piece rather than trying to plan the entire thing for one single ad. And what we get, again, is 54 unique video concepts. This is a dream come true for someone testing in the ad account. And nowadays, these algorithms are getting so good that they will figure out which one of these 54 works best for you and allow you to go spend less effort multiplying it because you already have the individual bricks of the entire content piece in there. Number 2, you guys gotta make your content platform specific. I see everyone doing this. We audit hundreds of businesses a month, and I see everyone running ads on all placements all the time. You shoot a vertical video, it's in square. You're running something on YouTube, it's the completely wrong dimensions. And the problem is we're getting super lazy with all this ad spend that we're doing. We're just letting Facebook, YouTube, Google pick all the placements for us. And it really, really irks me when I get into an account and I see content that is not designed for that platform being ran on that platform, and people are throwing their hands up wondering why in the world they're not getting the return. And this seems so simple, guys, but I'm telling you, out of hundreds of accounts that we audit, I probably see 1 every single month that actually takes the effort to do this. And once you guys are done here, I want you to go back, look at your ad account, and find how many places you're doing the same exact mistake, because this is costing you so much money every single month. And the last one here on the content piece, which seems so simple, and no one here does this, okay? Use 1 point in each ad. I see so many people trying to slam every single benefit of every single product that they have all into one long form copy. You know, we lose weight, we better for gut health, better for this, better for that, and they just go down the list. And what happens at the end of this, even if the ad actually wins and makes you money, you have no data to go off of. You don't know why someone actually clicked your ad because there's 17 different things in the ad copy that potentially got their attention. And I'll show you later in this presentation how we use Google Optimize to be able to get the most out of this. But once you focus on one specific pain point per ad and divide them differently in the ad account, where each ad only has one main point, you guys will be able to pinpoint exactly what that angle is and use it in the communication all the way down your entire funnel, which will lead to way more conversions. And then last thing, kind of a side note here, and last time I presented on this, which was in November, since then, about 90 days ago, I've had probably a dozen people reach out to me who took my advice on this last point that are now making tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands more a month just from this. But would it really kill you to take a portion of your ad budget and take it to organic content, where you're creating content on a daily basis for your brand? Platforms now like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels are literally fighting to push your attention organically everywhere. And if you look at CPMs, you know, cost per 1,000 impressions, and you compare what you're paying on CPMs versus how many views you're gonna get organically from this content, it ends up outweighing the amount that you're spending on ads. So if you are spending tens of thousands a month on advertising in general, I challenge you to take a portion of that and build an in-house team or pay someone to make you organic content on a regular basis and watch how much that lifts the entire ad account as a whole. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but this is the metric that we use to measure whether the hooks are actually working in the ad account itself. So in our business, we call it a scroll stop ratio. In my friends' businesses, they call it thumb stopping ratio. But at the end of the day, it's just 3-second views divided by impressions. And you can take this in the ad account. You can go make your own custom formula. But this is what allows us to judge if the hooks are working. And at the end of the day, those 6 hooks that I showed you guys are everything inside of the ad account. That is what determines what we're going to be making in future content, and this is the metric that we use. So when our content team is directly meeting with our media buying team, they're running this number, and they're telling them exactly what hooks make the most sense, and then they are filming more hooks based on this metric right here. This is probably the most important one when it comes to content. Nowadays, I don't think you need some crazy, fancy videos that are super long. We're winning pretty big, just as a side note. The last 90 days to 6 months, we're winning pretty big on just GIF graphics like this, where we get the point across very quickly. There doesn't need to be any crazy actors, any high production value ads. This is the stuff that's working right now, and so many people are scaling their ad accounts with us from this basic form of content. This is something that you guys can make. There's a lot of animation tools online that allow you to make this kind of stuff, but don't overthink it. All you have to do is just grab attention, and that's all that really matters on the content side. By doing all this, I'll tell you, we've lifted most accounts by 2x CTR. We've cut it in half, essentially. But with that being said, if you actually took this, went and filmed different hooks, tested out these different forms of content, focused on organic, do you guys think you could increase your click-through rate by 30% if you actually did this? Can I get a yes? That was so bad. I'm going to do this again. There you go. I'm going to do this again soon. I expect a little bit more out of you guys. So number 2 in the closed formula is language. Okay? Like I said, we want to focus on individual angles per ad. The goal is to understand the idea or the angle, okay? We win the most when we target wide and speak specific. Our CPMs are lower. These platforms do a really good job of targeting the right people. And as long as I target broad, which is the cheapest way for us to target, and I speak specific, one specific angle talking to one specific customer avatar with one specific problem, it allows us to pinpoint those people, get clicks from them, and as soon as they click, the algorithm is working behind the scenes to find more people clicking just like that. I don't want to sit here wasting time competing for really expensive audiences with everyone else when I'm testing. I want to go big, and I want to talk specific, and I only want those people to come to me. Think of it as like a billboard online. This is exactly how we operate when we're testing things, and it brings us an abundance of results and data for us to be able to scale these accounts. Who here uses Google Optimize? Can you raise your hand, like actively on a daily basis? Look at that. 5, 6, 7 people in the entire room use this tool. I expect you all to leave this room and use this tool immediately. But essentially what Google Optimize is a piece of script that you could just put on your website. It's absolutely free. And what it does is it allows it to change things on your website without going and having to change them on your website. You can do it through Google Optimize. So let me give you an example of how we use this. We have a dog cover brand that we work with, like seat covers inside of cars, right? So that your car doesn't get dirty. They sell dog seat covers to people with pickup trucks. Now, what we do in Google Optimize is we take the same exact page, we don't change anything on it, but when people search for F-150 seat cover on Google, we send them the same page that they search Dodge Ram. The problem is it doesn't speak specifically to that person. It just says pickup truck dog seat covers. All we did, we put Google Optimize for free, and every time someone clicks on an F-150 ad, the headline says F-150 seat covers. Every time someone clicks on a Ram ad, it says Ram seat covers. It's the same exact page. We didn't actually change it on the website. But just by using this tool, Google Optimize, for free, we're able to cut the CPAs in half and spend 5x more on that ad campaign and scale this guy's business to a few $100,000 more a month, all with a free tool that only 7 of you guys are using in this room. So at the very least, if there's anything you get out of this, I expect you guys to walk out of here, use Google Optimize, and start playing with it because it's a really, really fun tool at the end of the day. And last, survey your audience. Post-purchase survey on the thank you page with one question. This is an absolute game changer, and I guarantee 99% of you aren't doing it. Out of the hundreds of audits I do a month, nobody does it. Here's an example for a company called Smart Press Juice. This company was doing a few $100,000 a month. We're having trouble scaling the conversion rate of the store and the average order value. This was our bottleneck. They had no problem with the emails. They were doing great. No problem with the content converting great. But if we could just get a little bit more out of every order or more people to convert, it would absolutely shift the business. So on the onboarding and strategy call, we meet with people. Our onboarding doc is like 30 pages long. So we're going in depth about everything. And they said they've done years of research, talked to their audience. Bloating and gut health was the number one concern that they were solving. Back to the ad angles that I was talking about earlier. This is what they thought it was. So every single ad we made was talking about bloating and gut health. Every single email we made, bloating and gut health. The first point on the landing page of what it solves, bloating and gut health. We ran a post-purchase survey. Right after someone buys, not like a week, a year later, a month later in an email sequence, because no one actually remembers why they bought. Immediately after they buy, we surveyed them asking, out of these 4 things, what was the reason you actually purchased this product today? 48.5% voted weight loss, whereas a combined 30% voted gut health and bloating. They were completely wrong about their customer avatar. They were completely wrong about why people made the initial purchase on their product. And just by putting this post-purchase survey right after someone made that purchase, it was able to give us enough clarity to change everything, which allowed us to increase their conversion rate on their entire store by 50%, which is fucking insane, guys. All from a post-purchase survey. All it takes is you guys throwing a multiple choice question after someone makes a purchase to gather this kind of data. It's very important to understand from this scenario here, we make assumptions a lot as marketers. We say, dude, this is why I made this product, and this is why people want to buy this product. But at the end of the day, when you ask those people that are actually spending money out of their pocket, the conversation narrative changes. So, by using Google Optimized, post-purchase surveys, all the other things that we talked about in language, you guys say yes after this, by the way. Can we increase our conversion rates by just 1 percentage point? Yes. Nice. All right, number 3 is offer. Okay, this is very important. For me, all offers' main goal is to increase the AOV. Obviously, we want more conversions. This is a goal that you're always trying to solve at the end of the day. But when I'm crafting offers, the offers that really win at scale are the ones that are subliminally increasing AOV without necessarily putting it in front of someone's face. So, very obvious one, pre-selected big bundle options. You can have people buy 3 bottles, 5 bottles, 7 bottles instead of 1. Most of you guys are already doing that. This is a really good one, and this is one that works really well for us across the board. Giving someone an extra bonus or gift for minimum spends. So, free this when you spend this much money. Now, here's the psychology behind it. It's very interesting. I remember at one point I was working with an apparel brand, and we looked at the revenue, and 52% of this apparel brand that sold clothing, all these other things, 52% of their revenue came from a hat, a specific pink hat that they sold. And I met with their CFO, and I said, hey man, would you let me give the hat away for free? And they flipped their shit. 52% of our sales come from this hat. There's no way, no one's ever gonna buy this again. I said, dude, give me 2 weeks. Let me give away this hat for free, and I'll show you what we can do. He said, deal. The average order value of this brand was about $50, okay? What I said to myself is, if I can give them this hat for free that everyone wants, not necessarily what they need, but I know everyone wants this hat. If I make it where the only way to get the hat is to spend a certain amount of money on the store, how much more money would people spend? And so we knew the average order value was around $50. I said, spend $75 and get this hat for free. The hat only cost them like $4 to make, so it was a super awesome deal. Just by saying, get this coveted thing that you want for free by spending this much money, the average order value jumped up to $85 that month. It was the most profitable month they've ever had in their business. And then for some reason, they fired us a month later. Don't ask me why. But this is a very, very awesome strategy that works across the board. Anytime you're selling physical products online, even digital products, this works really well. We have a lot of clients in the coaching and consulting space, and allowing them to spend more money to get something else, especially on sale days, is absolutely massive. High ticket post-purchase offer always. This is really nice. This is when you're doing that post-purchase survey, this is a great point to put it in there by basically giving them a ridiculous offer at the end of it. And you, at the end of the day, don't really need to have much margin on it because you've already paid for the advertising to get the customer to purchase. So you can be a lot more aggressive with a discount. And just as an example, if you give a $99 offer at the end, post-purchase, and 20% of people take it, that's $20 added to your average order value. If only 10% of people take it, that's $10 added to your entire average order value. Don't be scared to just throw it up there. People already made the purchase. They already took out their credit card. They paid you. You have nothing to lose except to gain money from that purchase. Worst case, everyone says no and you change the offer. But the purchase has already happened. You will not ruin your conversion rates. You will not ruin your chances of making more money. And this is one of my favorite ones. We do this a lot on sale days. We go really big on this, and we make a lot of money because of it. But basically, instead of giving a discount, we give store credit or cash back. There's apps that allow you to track this. If you're a smaller store or not doing that much revenue, it's pretty easy to track manually at the end of the day as well. But essentially the concept is instead of giving someone a discount, a monetary discount, which is what everyone else is doing, you give them way more percent cash back. And when you factor in your actual cost of goods that you're shipping to the person, your margin on that 50% is probably like 75, 80% margin. Whereas if you give them 25% off, that's actual cash taken out of your pocket and given back to someone else. So I can afford to give 50% cash back compared to my competitor giving 25% off. And once I look at my margin, I really gave them like a 12.5% discount. But because they're getting so much cash back, they feel like my discount and my offer psychologically and monetarily is a lot more valuable than someone else giving 25% off. We've split tested these side by side again and again and again, and credit always wins because you can go so much bigger and so much more perceived value to the customer. And the cool part is they're gonna come back and spend that gift card in a allotted amount of time that you give them. So if you say, in the next 60 days you can spend this anytime, these people are gonna come back, spend that money, and then spend more money with you again. So very, very interesting concept. We've been playing with this a lot for the last couple years, and time again, it just keeps beating discounts because we can give twice as much money and still pay half out of pocket, making our acquisition process a lot more profitable and scalable. And this is kind of the metric that I like to use. Again, everyone's business is different. If you have a recurring business, you can probably extend this out to a longer number. But essentially, 60-day gross profit is the number that I use to understand how we can make better offers, how much we can actually spend on acquisition. And this is obviously assuming that you have multiple purchases. If you are a one-time purchase kind of store, and I have a few of those, you do not want to base it on this number. You want to base it on the initial purchase gross profit. But if you are a store that is really good at email marketing, getting people back in to buy multiple products from you, if you do not know this metric like the back of your hand, which I guarantee most of you do not, because I get on a lot of calls and I ask people this question, and it's all estimated range. It's probably around $50. It's probably around $80. You should know this number to the T because this is actually the number that determines how much profit you're pulling in the first 60 days, how much you can spend on ads, what kind of offers you can run, and nowadays it also determines how much funding someone is willing to give you to front that ad spend in your business. So with that being said, on this store that was $75, if we run these strategies, do we feel confident that over time, I'm not talking about tomorrow, over time we can increase the average order of this store that I showed you guys by $25? Can I get a yes? Simplicity. This one's super easy. I'm going to go through it super quick. But the concept of simplicity is what we look for. How many steps can we remove in our process? A lot of times as marketers, we're trying to add steps in a way. We're trying to get an upsell here and add this there. And what happens is it creates so many clicks, so much friction for a consumer, especially nowadays with such short attention span on social media. It creates a lot of friction and people essentially back out of the process just because of how many clicks. So how we look at it is every click that we can remove is a bump in conversion rates. And I don't know how many of you guys actually do this because I talk to a lot of store owners, but like daily, go through your store and check out. Get to the checkout page and figure out like what actually annoyed you, what frustrated you, what clicks can be removed because one little click could absolutely transform the entire business in itself. We use tools like Hotjar and Lucky Orange. I'm sure most of you guys already use these, but we actually watch them. We sit there for hours and our conversion specialists on the team actually watch the longest and the shortest sessions that are recorded and go through to get a better understanding of what other people are actually doing. And you'll start noticing commonalities that Google Analytics and other data points can't even tell you just by watching this video. Sure, it might take a few hours of your day one time, but it will transform your business forever. Google Analytics has a pretty cool tool called the amplitude chart. What you can do is you can go in the settings of Google Analytics and assign goals to each page of the process. So, home page, goal, collection page, goal, add to cart, goal, checkout page, goal, and you basically build your entire funnel. And we basically look at this once a week, not our data on ClickFunnels or Shopify or whatever tools we're using. We look at this once a week, and we essentially find the biggest gaps here. So in this scenario here, you can see like page 1 to page 2 is the biggest drop-off that we can probably take care of. And then that third to last one is probably the second biggest drop-off that we can take care of. Those are going to be the biggest money movers in our business. Whereas a lot of people are still looking in the ad account to solve these problems, this is where I'm actually looking. Because if I can close half that gap on the second bar that's grayed out, if I can close half that gap right there, I probably double my entire business's profit with a blink of an eye just because of that change. So that is the page that I'm focusing on. I'm trying to watch every recording and figure out what is someone doing between these two pages right here that is not creating congruency. Maybe the language is off, maybe the colors of something are off, and watching people actually do these things step by step. I know for a fact 99% of you do not look at this kind of data because I audit a lot of businesses, and I can tell you most of Google Analytics aren't even set up properly to do this. But this is something super easy, and if you guys need help with it, just shoot me a message on Instagram, and I can shoot you a Loom video of exactly how to set this up. But this is absolutely necessary for your business. And the last step of the close process is email and SMS. So a lot of us do email and SMS, maybe all of us at this point. But I don't think a lot of us are doing it properly. And even me and my agency, we worked with dozens of different businesses, and we at one point weren't doing it properly. So I want to challenge your belief of how intensively you're actually doing email and SMS in here. So to show you how we actually test things, I don't know how many of you guys are going to this level of testing on your email SMS or just sending things out whenever you need to make money. But this is the level that we're testing here. Every one of these rows across is its own email campaign or an email flow, and these are all the metrics that we're testing. I saw you guys taking some photos. This is probably the one that you want to take photos of. Every single email we send out, we track these metrics. And based on our accounts, we try to figure out what's green, what's red, what's yellow, and what are the biggest moving points in the business. At the end of the day, email and SMS is probably the most profitable channel that you can have in your business. And we're spending so much time optimizing the front end on the ads part to scale and acquire new customers, but I don't think we're putting equal enough effort into the email and SMS side of someone's business to be able to generate that profit on the back end. So one really cool thing that we do is a post-purchase touch point on text and email. So it's a one-time offer post-purchase like we were talking about earlier, and it's logic-based. So based on if it's their first transaction, their second transaction, what other products they bought, they will get a one-time offer. So I'm going to give you an example that we did that's for our own store, actually, not a client's. So we have a store, and the problem is we don't get recurring purchases because we sell wall art. There's only so much wall in someone's house that they can cover. Our average order value is about $250 on our store. The problem is recurring purchases are so low, again, because the only way they're going to do it is if they're gifting it to someone else at that point. What we did was I sent out a text and an email as soon as someone made the purchase. I had a screenshot of the back end of our Shopify that said it takes us 3 days and 6 hours to fulfill this order on average. I said, listen, our biggest cost as a company is shipping these giant wall art pieces to you. And because you've already made your order, I can eliminate our entire shipping cost, which is 22%, if you purchase before this timer's up. There's no timer. It just, on average, it takes us 3 days to fulfill. As long as this code works, it will still be available. If we've already shipped your product, we can't give you this discount. 25% of people, 1 out of 4, come back, make a purchase over $150 average order value on top of what we had. What I showed you guys earlier, if you take the percentage of the people who are buying that $100 post-purchase offer, and you take the same percentage on this, we're adding about $45, $50 average order value to everyone that came and bought from our store as first-time purchasers just by doing this post-purchase touch point. And it's really important because everyone's always trying to sell people. It's really important to give them a very valid and logical reason why this discount can be applied. So in my case, for example, I use shipping. I said we spend a lot on shipping, and I'll save you 22%. It's a very odd number. It wasn't like an even flat 0 or 5 number like most people do, and it felt very authentic, and that's why I think I got so many people to buy it. So very important strategy here, and I think you guys can find ways in your business to do it the right way and to justify the logic behind it instead of just, here's another offer. Here's another offer, why? And then at the end of the day, stop doing this effortlessly and start taking it seriously. Be intentional with your campaigns. So I see a lot of campaigns, and most of the time they're just sales. They're just people pounding sales down people's throats. We got 10% off. We got this buy one, get one free on this product. Buy, 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 buy. This is like you meeting someone for the first time outside of Vegas, and all they do is just ask you to go to the bedroom the whole time. So at the end of the day, you need to be a lot more intentional with these emails. And as we've ran the data, the emails that actually curate content for people without an offer actually generate more revenue for the businesses that we work with than the emails that do curate offers. Now, don't get me wrong, offer emails still smash it. They make a ton of money, but in the amount of frequency equivalent, if I'm sending 2, 3 content-based emails and then one big sale day, those content-based emails are going to do more than that one sale day is alone. And so I want you guys to start focusing on that, because that will lift the entire business in itself. And all of us are so focused on the front end. How can I acquire? How can I acquire? How can I acquire? How can I spend more on ads? How can I make more money? How can I get new customers? And at the end of the day, these guys are sitting here, and if you just found a way to increase this by percentage points, you would make so much more profit, not revenue, in your business. So start sending things that people actually look forward to. Here's an example of a store we work with. What's that? $3 million of monthly revenue. $1 million of it came from email. Probably another $500,000 came from SMS in a different screenshot on PostScript. So just an example, this is pretty recent, 2 months ago, of how much of an impact this actually makes. And I don't think a lot of us are actually focusing on it. And it's just literally sunken costs at the end of the day. So with that being said, if we use these strategies, if we actually track the open rates, the subject lines, everything that I showed you guys in that sheet, which I will give you for free to do on your own afterwards, do we feel like we can increase email and SMS revenue by just 6 percentage points? Yes? Awesome. Thank you so much. So, with that being said, content, language, offer, simplicity, email and SMS, the close method. This is where I need you guys to participate with your legs. This is the business I showed you guys at the beginning of this presentation. $1 million of spend, here's all the metrics, and all the way on the far right, you can see the monthly net profit of this business is minus $100,000. We all agreed we could decrease cost per click by 30%. That would give us a new business of $350,000 profit every single month without changing anything else in the business. Can you stand up if this is a business that you would like to own? $350,000 a month. Perfect. Some of you guys are way too rich. Conversion rate. We all agreed. Stay up. No, stay standing. Stay standing. Stay standing, please. Stay standing. I'm going to make a point here to all of you. Conversion rate, 1%. We all agree that with the things that we talked about, Google Optimize, other softwares that we can use, that we can increase the conversion rate by 1 percentage point. From 4 to 5, that would give us a business net profit. I haven't changed anything else in the company. $687,000 a month. Can you stand up if this is a business that you would like to own? There's no way all these people sitting down would not want to own a $700,000 a month net profit business. Number 4, we said we could increase the average order value by $25. That would result in a business that does $1.3 million a month in net profit. The same exact business that everyone wouldn't stand up for and didn't want to own. And last but not least, and I swear if not all of you are standing, we have a problem here. 6 percentage points difference in email and SMS, assuming the business was doing 20% of its revenue. We're going to do 26 now. This business, the same one that did minus $100,000 of profit every month, now does $1.4 million every single month. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes? Does that make sense to everyone? So hopefully from this, you guys were able to take away the fact that it's not in the ad account. It's small percentage points down the entire business that can shift the entire company itself. Not once did I talk about an ad strategy, not once did I talk about a bidding structure, how we lay out our ad account, because all that shit doesn't matter at the end of the day. I could run billboard ads, I could put ads on an airplane for all I care, put them on television. If all these pieces are refined on the back end, it doesn't matter where I'm running traffic from, and quite frankly, it gets to the point where it doesn't even matter how I track it, because all that matters is I'm tracking these metrics, and it changes the entire business. With that being said, I told you guys, I promised I'd give you my calculator for free. There's no crazy email sequence. I put this together in my hotel room yesterday. It looks absolutely awful, but all you have to do is just put in your email, And I will send you a spreadsheet. It should automatically be able to open a page that it downloads from where you guys can download our sheet. It took us about 4 months to make this. But essentially what you're going to do is you can take this same sheet I just showed you, you plug in your business's numbers, and it will tell you the highest leverage activities. It'll say if you increase this by 1%, it's the most important thing to do. Or if you increase this by 5% over here, that's the most important thing to do. And with that being said, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for your time today.